So many thanks for staying with us on Global Morning. It's now time for us to look at the first conversation for the day. What are we talking about? They want to look at national development, which is pivotal, which is more like something that is a necessity as far as every society is concerned. What a lot of society look at is growth and development. What do we have? How do we come about growth and development in countries, in nations, in the society? All these are built on the policies that come from people in governance, which trickles down to the average Nigerians, as the case may be, or we can say people who are the electorate. Joining me on the conversation today is a political analyst, and of course, he's also a security expert. But then we're going to be talking to him from the political and policy aspect, where he have a very strong hold in the person of Professor Ibrahim Abubakar. It's good to have you join us on Global Morning today once again.
Good morning, everybody.
Now, we're looking at policies. What's the role of policy as it has to do with national development?
Policies are the fundamentals of rules, guidance, laws that propel development in every nation and society. So without the policy formations, then development will be very archaic to any society, community, or country. If we look at it, the policy framework guide the economy, guide the society, guide the structures, guide all phases of your development. So without policy, there is no development framework.
All right. Now, one of the things that shapen, all right, the developments in Nigeria is policy. What do you think of policies that have been put in place by different administrations in Nigeria? Because we are where we are today as a country as a result of policies, making an assessment of national development, societal growth, everything, the economy, all this boils down on policies, right on the wings of policies. So what's your assessment of policies in Nigeria, beginning from maybe Jonathan's administration up to date, because that's what we have been building until now?
Developmental policies are not being implemented, and they are also not in place. If you look at it, you find out that the engineering laws are not in our constitutions are laws, and even when they are there, they are very archaic and not implemented. Then if you also look at technological laws, there are scientific laws, security laws, so many laws, structures and infrastructural laws are not in place. These policies are not in place. So what kind of development are you looking at? Because even the power sector, which is supposed to be the energy law and the energy laws, if you watch very well, how many energy policies do we have, and we are implementing them? So you have a lot of rules to play. All what we have here is just the criminal laws and implementation. So if you look at it, the economic law is not even there. So how do you think you are going to run a nation without these rules? And what propelled the nation to development when these policies are not in place? And if we have some of them, they are just not known or implemented policies. So you are waving each time because you don't know where to have a hold on.
All right. Now, let's look at this present administration. When this administration came into office, there were policies that were made. And that policy brought us to where we are today. Take, for instance, subsidy removal, the floating of the naira, and a number of other policies that came with this administration. Now, looking at what is happening right now, what do you have to say about the policies that this administration came up with? Apart from the agenda, every administration have an agenda. And these agendas are meant to swim, okay, on these policies. So can we take a look at the policies of this administration and where it's taking us? Is it for good or it's not doing us any good?
I think there is a mistake here when we want to talk of policies, because when you say an executive order is not a policy framework. So when you say, I use an executive order to say there is no subsidy on petroleum products or the downstream sector, then that is an executive order. It's not a policy. So let us not mix this together, because there's a difference between the National Assembly sat down, put it into law, and said there is no going to be subsidy in Nigeria, and this is their reason, and this is why, and this is what they are going to do with what the subsidy is bringing into Nigeria. The removal of subsidy is going to bring the gain and the profit, or what benefit whatsoever we are going to enjoy from it. But I don't think it is a constitutional issue, so you can't call it policy. It's an executive order. So when executive order is when another executive come in, it can be squashed away. So it's not a policy issue. It is an order. We have such and a lot of such orders that are being placed as executive order. Then let's look at the implementation of this order. The implementation of the order is because we cannot call anybody. Remember, we cannot call anybody. We cannot call anybody to say you have to review this order for this reason, because it is an executive order. So this order did not go through the first reading, second reading, or whatever public hearing in the National Assembly. So it is a tall order. So whatever way they implement it, we have no reason to question it till after Bola Ahmed Tinubu has finished his tenure.
All right. Let's look
that goes also to the issue of currency swap and the rest. The increase in the rates of forest also goes the same way. They are all executive order. They are not policy framework that were debated in the floor of the National Assembly.
All right, let's do an assessment of development in Nigeria. What do you have to say about developments in Nigeria? Because what Nigerians are asking for some of these development sprees, and a lot of people are complaining that it's not there. What's your thought? What do you think about development in Nigeria? We know Nigeria is a third world country, and we are developing, but where are we?
The issue is, I beg to disagree that Nigeria is a third world country. We are all developing at our own pace. If you agree that you are a third world country, then you are a slave to the other nations, and that I am not a slave to anybody's nation. So the truth remains that you can't develop when there are no policies. Let me give you some instance. A road project, what we call the truck A roads, are supposed to last for 50 years by rule, by engineering standard rule. looking at the highway and structural policies of roads. So if you have a truck A road, then should be expecting that that road is going to last for 50 years. I don't think there is any road that has lasted 50 years in Nigeria because the policy is not there. So we recruit a contractor today who give us whatever shabby job he has given and walk away because nobody is calling them back to say, you have done this job and it has not lasted from A to A, B, C, D. So when you also go to truck B road and truck C road, these are roads that are supposed to last a minimum of 25 years. And we have not gotten any road of truck B or truck C that has lasted a minimum of 25 years. So that is the reason when we say we should go back, look at the policy frameworks, look at what is supposed to be. If you come to the structures like the offices, complexes, and the rest, we also have the hardware structures which are supposed to last 99 years. And we also have the softwares which are supposed to last like 50 years, 49, 50 years. So are these rules applicable? Are they really being applied? No. No. So if you look at your C of O, for example, if you have a certificate of occupancy, it's saying that you are enjoying the benefit of that certificate of occupancy for 99 years. Because the law states that any structure you put in that place is supposed to last for at least 99 years. But some of the structures don't even last 10 years, 15 years. They have started experiencing wear and tears because there is no porosity. So you buy a bulb, for example, this is bulbs here, and you fix it and it blow up today, you hold nobody responsible, but a bulb is supposed to last by policy, by law, for 1 good year.
One electric bulb.
Yes. So who did you hold responsible? Because the Standard Organization of Nigeria is not doing its job. So you find out that we have a lot of these policies where we lost a lot of policies that are supposed to be in place that are not in place. And those that are in place are not being implemented. Even by medical rule, you see somebody who has done a surgery and there is eruption and the person pay for that eruption again. No medical institution is being held responsible for such. So it's not just saying that there are no developmental templates. There are developmental templates, but these developmental templates that we have, do we really have policies? Do we really have those who are implementing? Do we really look at evaluation? Do we evaluate these policies and see where to go? What is the nation developmental plan for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 50 years? Do we have any? So where are we going to? You go to our educational sector, it is also almost becoming something else. Let me use the word something else, even as I am not supposed to say something else. But why? Because much of the projections for our academic welfare, you'll find out that the policies are not in tandem with reality. So you see somebody going to study engineering, for example, and there is no lab, no workshop, no hub, whether industrial hub or whatever. So what are you really studying engineering, or you are just a graduate of engineering? So there is a lot of things we are supposed to do, because when the academic institutions or the educational institutions are not standing firmly to compete favorably with other nations, then that is why some people are thinking that they are from the third world countries. I don't believe I'm from the third world country. I am always first class, and I remain first class.
Yeah, every Nigerian is a first class in their own right. Let me take you back a little bit to the issue of subsidy removal. You said the subsidy removal is an executive order and not a policy. I want to draw your attention to what the special advisor to the president on policy communication said on a national TV, talking about Daniel Bwala, who commended the president, saying that the president has credited the presidency credited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's subsidy removal policy. He called it policy here, but you said it's not a policy, that's an executive order, that it rescued more than 19 states from brink of bankruptcy. Now, you said it's an executive order, not a policy, when I said it's a policy. And I'm going by what the special advisor to the president said here. He said it's a policy, and he called it a policy, like I said. Now, and he is crediting it to the fact that it released a lot of 19, he was specific, 19 states from brink of bankruptcy. But Nigerians were feeling the heat, and it's rescuing the state. So what are we saying here? Is there a strike of balance here? Because policies are supposed to be meant for Nigerians, and the state governors are enjoying it, according to Bwala, why the average Nigerians are complaining from one end to the other, even though I know human wants are insatiable. He has referred to it as a policy, talking about Bwala himself.
Bwala is a spokesman to Mr. President, and I believe he has his own targeted audience. But I'm being objective here because I'm not speaking for anybody. I'm not promoting anybody. Rather, I'm talking about my country as Nigeria. There is not a policy, because nobody raised any bill for removal of subsidy, whether in the Senate or in the...
They just supported it because the Senate supported it.
No, it's an executive order. So whether you support it or not, he bring it as a speech in the inaugural speech of Mr. President. He did not bring it as a policy issue where he has to drive it to the National Assembly. So it was an executive order, and we have also followed the executive order. But to be frank with you, if they have done it and implement it the way it's supposed to be implemented, it would have been a very win game for Nigeria, removing the subsidy. But the implementation, just as I said, makes it not to have that human face it's supposed to have. So whosoever has advised Mr. President to remove the subsidy has actually done his homework. But implementing it and how to get out of it to have that human face that Nigerians are crying for, that is where the problem is. To me, removal of subsidy is one of the best things that this administration will have implemented.
Because almost all the presidential candidates were even talking about it.
Yes,
back then.
But if you remove the subsidy, how does the effect on the populace? The effect of the populace, which we have absorbed, every Nigeria has absorbed, but what are the benefits and the gains is what Nigerians are not seeing. So anybody that brought that idea it was a golden idea, but the workings, the template of implementation, the templates are supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will have drawn down to everybody from the oils, from the down, upstream, middle stream to downstream sector, down to the federal government, the state government, the local government, and the populace. So everybody will have been a beneficial of this removal. But in implementing it, the dot lines were not, I don't think, were adequately addressed. And the effect, the rebounding effect, is what everybody is feeling.
All right. There are several policies that have been made in Nigeria. Can you tell us of the impact of some of those policies? Policies that, because every administration have different policies, but all the policies that we've been having in Nigeria, are we having a commensurate impact?
No, when implementation is faulty, there is no way anybody is going to have the impact, because the benefits are not drawn to the last chain. The problem we have here is we don't draw this to the last chain, and anything you don't draw to the last chain has a rebounding effect on you, who is a subject of that policy. You have an organization where you say this is an organization and this is what you are going to do within a time, and you are asking your people to say, okay, in this our organization, this is what you are going to go through, and this is the timeline. Most of these policies in Nigeria are not having timeline. That is the headache. Nobody plays timeline on them. This is going to last for 2 years. This is going to last for 5 years. This is going to last for 10 years. This is going to last for 20 years. We don't have timeline. So it is an established factor that it remains there. It is a policy. It is a policy, and it remains there. And when it remains there, it becomes a very big problem, because everybody wants to take an advantage of it.
But then some Nigerians are saying, especially looking at 2027, like you talked about supervision and implementation just now, implementation of policy is key. Some persons are even saying that we're having more of politicking than even thinking of implementations of these policies and governance at the same time. Are you of the same school of thought?
Yeah, the issue is this: when you have policies that created an organization, the input of that organization, you also weigh the input and the output. You understand me? So most of the time when policies are formed and they make you head of that organization which implement this policy, it now becomes a sit-tight position. So there is no timeline. There is no duration that, you are going to have a close-up at this time, this hour, this period. So that is where we have the problem.
All right. I think almost every Nigerian is thinking the same thing, but then we won't be able to continue with the conversation, even though it's so interesting. And as a matter of fact, let's go on a quick break. After this break, Global Morning continues. Stay with us. Welcome back from that break. It is still Global Morning right here, and we're looking at national development. And my guest is Professor Ibrahim Abubakar, a public affairs and a political analyst, and also a security expert. We're looking at the different policies in Nigeria. Now, there is something that always happens in Nigeria. Every administration comes with an agenda. This is what we want to do. Okay, like we're talking before now, we're talking about power. Every administration that comes will tell you, well, they are going to fix the power sector, which has been pivotal. And at the end of the day, we don't see these things done. You talked about implementation. Sometimes we have policies in place, but supervision and implementation is now a problem. What do you think is the way out of this? Because we'll still keep voting. We'll keep appointing people into political offices. But what can be done to ensure the implementation of these policies for Nigerians to feel the impact?
In the developmental template, we just as I said, like Nigeria, we should go back again, because we don't have political parties. We have political platform. We only realize it when we decide to have political parties.
What's the difference between political party and a political platform?
A political party is a party set up with agenda, ideas, and programming movement from one journey to the other, an association of like minds. But a political platform is, I'm coming in, I have some financial power and some financial muscles. I don't care whatever decision they are taking. My decision is paramount. I want to become a governor, I want to become a president, I want to become a senator, by all means. So I have my courage and everybody follow me. So their opinion, their idea does not matter to me. So in Nigeria, that is what we find, where we find ourselves. So we have a political platform, not a political party. So the day we realize it and say we want a political party, and we stage a political party that has all the grooms, that has groomed the people to withstand where they are supposed to be, that is when we should be ready to say there was some agendas, there was some campaign promises that has to be fulfilled, because the party will compel you to fulfill those promises. But in this case, it is play along with me. You either play along with me or you leave it at that position. So you don't blame them for somebody who fool you and continue to fool you. They know we need power. They know they can afford it on their own from their own private pocket. So why should I give them that power? It was a promise. So they use all this as a conduit pipe to exploit the ignorance of our people.
All right, Prof. Now, I think we need to take it up a little bit. So, like as at this morning, we have about, 600,000 PVCs not being picked up by electorate. Now, INEC is complaining. This complaint came from INEC. What do you think is responsible for this? Because number one, money was being spent. Number two, these people went to do the registration and the PVCs were provided. And it has not been picked, meaning these persons may not participate in the elections. And most times Nigerians complain, like we're talking about non-implementation of policies, so many things that need to be put in place. And what helps us to pick people who are credible, who are capable, all right, who are trusted to be able to drive this motto is through this election. And we're complaining of policy implementation, non-policy implementation, and every other thing. But these things keep happening. What do you think is the implication of all of this?
Well, if INEC should complain, then I feel they have no reason to come to the public and tell us and wash their dirty linings for us, because one, the process went into biometrics. Every voter's card has an address. So the enforcement, the mobilization unit of INEC are supposed to send these cards to the address of the owners. INEC has an office in the local government, they have an office in the states, they have offices, the national headquarters. So how can INEC come here and tell me that there are people who have not collected their voter's card? And these people, every indication shows that they have the voter's card were addressed to their villages, to their addresses. So it's like National Identity Management Commission coming to tell me that you cannot get your national ID because, whereas there is an address imputed. So INEC should not come here and bamboozle us with such nonsense. They only want more money for. To me, they just want more money from the government. That is just what that is my take.
But does it have an implication? Not picking this PVC, does it have an implication? Because we're talking about national development.
Yes, because it has an implication, because if I wanted to vote and I don't have my voter's card, I will not be allowed to vote. So what is the agenda of not submitting this voter's card to the people?
No, it's the people that didn't come to pick it. That has been the policy. That's how it's been done.
Are you expecting somebody to come from Lagos, for example, to come to the national headquarters and start asking for his voter's card?
No, there's a way it's been done. You registered somewhere, in a ward somewhere. So
when
you go back and
come
pick
to
it.
register, and when you was registering, you also was what? You were in the center. have they put a center where they were registering and said, your cards are ready, come and collect, and people refuse to come?
Yeah, the cards at the various local government and INEC offices.
So you want,
at the local government
somebody
level.
who registered in Use, for example, or central area, to now go to start looking for INEC office in the local government or in the state headquarters to pick his card. Why didn't you tell him that he should go to the local government headquarters or go to the state headquarters of INEC to register as a voter? Why was he taken to his home or closer to his house?
But if this
now that he has to collect, he has to be punished to collect.
I don't think it's a punishment, because you register. I know that when you register, all right, and this cards, these PVCs are being printed, if they are ready, there's a designated location where you are supposed to pick it. People who even do the registration are aware of that before they even go to register. So the question I'm asking now, not picking these, is not, I'm not talking about why INEC didn't take it to the various locations where the address indicates, because even tracing these addresses may not be easy. You know how locating address is in Nigeria. What implication would the non-picking of these cards have on policy makers?
That is the same thing we are saying. The implication is that whose responsibility is it to deliver these cards? Why were the people not captured and that card produced immediately to them? They did not do that. So now that the cards are accumulated, why didn't you deliver them to their address? Because people in the world knows them. Even if the addresses are not verifiable, the people in the world
know the people that came to register.
Yes, you can't go to my village now and said in my village people registered and they don't know the name of that person.
No, the people who are doing this registration, maybe they may not even be from your village. These are INEC staff deployed.
So why
to do this registration?
We have councillors representing each ward in Nigeria. Did you have any discussion with these councillors? Did you have any discussions with the local government chairman? So there is a channel which you are supposed to follow to deliver these cards. If some of these people may be late, some of them, and you are waiting for them to come and collect card. The question is that what we are all crying that what have benefited from a government, and you are not thinking that somebody who is today in Tugamaji will come to Gwagwalada, use his money to pay transport to Gwagwalada to collect card, to collect voters card. On what ground?
Because they left that place to go and do the registration, so they should
so
be able.
If you come,
we're talking about patriotism here.
If you come to Tugamaji to capture me, you expect me now to pay transport to go to Gwagwalada to pick the card.
Prof, that's what we call patriotism, because you went to register. That's why you need to register at a place very close to you, so that you can pick up the card.
I was patriotic enough. I was patriotic enough to come for capturing in Tugamaji. Then I should be patriotic enough again to pay transport to go and
go and pick it. It means you don't value the card. It means you don't value the PVC.
There is no,
because I could remember
there is no value when there is no value when there is no political party. There is always a value when there is a political party.
How will you say there is no political party?
We have political platform.
But we have. Are you saying APC is a political platform?
Yes.
PDP is a political platform.
Of course, it's a political platform.
But they call it political party.
That is their.
Is that a misplacement?
That is a misplacement. It's a political platform. Whether you call
So you're trying to say we don't have a political party in Nigeria?
No. Whether you call it ADC, you call it PDP, you call it whatever name, SDP, or you call it APC, they are all political platforms as far as I'm concerned. And I can defend that anywhere.
Political platforms?
Yes.
Are you saying they don't have ideology? Because political parties...
What ideology has driven us since 1999?
So are you saying, okay, what's your assessment of the political parties we have in Nigeria as it has to do with ideology?
I said we don't have a political party. We have political platform. You are telling me of ideology. What ideology would drive a platform?
So these political parties don't have an ideology? Or you don't want me to call it a political party?
No, there is no political party. If there is one, show me one.
Or Progressive Congress, APC,
No,
PDP.
It's not a political party. It's a political platform. Did you know the manifestation? We count from the beginning of 1999 to today. I think the names has transformed everywhere to shoot one person or one other candidate.
Okay, well, the conversation is actually getting intensive. Prof have said we don't have political parties in Nigeria, that what we have is political platform. And I was trying to ask if we have political parties that have ideology and what the ideologies are and where it has brought us today. And he said he has not seen anyone with any ideology, as a matter of fact. Well, this is going to be the size of the conversation. Many thanks for joining us, Prof, on the conversation today.
Thank you very much, and thank you, viewers.
All right, well, this is going to be the size of the first conversation on Global Morning today. Each of the ideas and, of course, of our guest is their idea, not that of Global Television, as a matter of fact, just the way it is with the national dailies that we took today. Coming up next is the second conversation.